Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Woke Witch Tarot. For today's video, we are going to be going over some awesome predictions for the month of April 2020. I have 4 different piles for you to choose from, and we will be going through each, getting some oracle cards, some tarot cards, some affirmations, and using this archetype deck that I still have yet to learn. So I figured, why not learn it with you guys? So at the end, I will pull one of these cards for you and we will read the definition together. I'll clarify wherever needed. As always, these are general readings, so of course they're not going to apply to everybody. If you are interested in a personal reading, you can reach out to me on my social media, or you can go directly to my website, which is linked in the corner or down below in the description. With all that said, let's get started. I have 4 piles for you to pick from for the month of April. The first pile will be this beautiful gold butterfly. The second is a small cello pendant here. We also have a gold starfish and a gold bike. So pile 1 is the butterfly, pile 2 is the cello, pile 3 is this starfish, pile 4 is the bike. Feel free to pause the video, take some time to meditate on the question of what blessings, what things are going to be happening for you in the month of April, and we will go ahead and get started. Once you've picked 1, 2, 3, or 4, feel free to fast forward to the times that I've listed somewhere here on the left side of the screen. All right, I'll see you guys on the other side. Alrighty, if you picked deck number 1, this beautiful gold butterfly, then this is the reading for you on what it is that you can expect in the month of April 2020. Let's get started. I noticed that you picked the gold butterfly, so you could be drawn to that because you're going into this period of transformation. There's something that you're working on, that you're changing. Ooh, this is weird. This must have come up from one of my personal readings. I usually only use this deck for my personal readings. The Ace of Swords, I'm going to consider that a sign, and I'm going to leave this on the side here. So perhaps there's some truth coming your direction that is going to help with this transformation, this change. Maybe this is the boon to how it is that you transform. You realize a truth and you are spreading your wings because of it. I feel this feeling of a weight being lifted off your shoulders. Maybe that's why you're flying now. Maybe that's why you can ascend a little bit further in your life, because you've reached this clarity in the month of April. Interesting, let's continue. You could be finding yourself cocooning, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. You could be staying inside, practicing some good social distancing. I also see this moment for some of you of discomfort. Asking yourself, why is it that things have to hurt? And realizing that you're hurting because you're changing, and that any time that we change, that we evolve, that we grow, we are usually in a place of discomfort. We're outside of our comfort zone, and that is why it's painful for us to change. I get the Fool here. I get the Vermit, the Hermit as well. I also see some healing coming your way. The Temperance card, I see that here as well. So let's see what else we can pull for you. Some of you might be going on a trip in the month of April, or you have a trip that's been canceled and you feel like that has kind of clipped your wings a little bit. I also get this feeling of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. Like you're just a little butterfly, and the world and your obstacles feel so much bigger than you right now. Perhaps the truth that you're realizing in April is that there is no feat too big if we put in the work, right? If we cocoon, if we work on ourselves enough to emerge from that nest and to make things happen for ourselves. There's a bit of self-sacrifice that I feel in this token that is almost like you understand that in the month of April, if you're willing to buckle down, to stay by yourself, to work only on your priorities with laser focus, that you'll be able to suffer now, feel slightly uncomfortable, but the payoff is worth it. Some of you might be going through a physical transformation here. You might be putting in the work at the gym. I also see the need to see things from a different perspective in the month of April. And this truth, this Ace of Swords, might be helping you do that. Ooh. Two of Swords wanted to show itself there. We'll see if that comes out again. If it's meant to come out, it will come out. So for those of you that don't know, I live in the state of California, and we're supposed to be on lockdown right now. And for some reason, I still hear tons of people driving outside. I'm talking full lockdown. So I'm not sure why I hear so much traffic if we're all supposed to be doing our best to stay inside. We've got the Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This definitely gives me that feeling of going within. Look at how this person is kind of pulling themselves into a cocoon. Perhaps you're spending a lot of time, too much time in, and it's time to break out. It's time to break free from this cone of protective energy that we have here in this card, where you're trying to protect yourself physically. Definitely stressed out about something here. We'll see what else comes out. Some affirmations, please, for deck number 1. I'm going to pull all the cards now, and that way we can just run through them all at one time, okay? Affirmations, please, for this butterfly, for my butterflies watching for the month of April, please. All right. Okay. We'll start with these. I'll clarify wherever needed, and at the end, we will pick one of these archetype cards from that archetype deck. Let's get started. Fork in the road and between worlds. So I definitely get this sense that you are in this place. This is you inside yourself, like that Nine of Swords card, okay? This is your fork in the road. These swords all represent a direction that you are contemplating taking. And this is stressing you out a little bit. You're in yourself very deeply here. And you're trying to make a decision on which way it is that you should go. And I find you in between worlds here. You're in, like I said, this transition phase. You have yet to emerge, to come into full color for the month of April. And that's what you're working on. This new beginning. I feel like, you're asking yourself, if I could get the truth, if I could dig deep enough here to pull the truth out of myself, then I can use that to make a decision on where it is that I'm going. And I can bloom into that new world from this kind of darker energy that I find myself in now. So I feel this incredible shift. I've noticed this a lot in not just the pick of cards, but in my personal readings as well. I feel like 2020 is the year that people are saying enough waiting, enough sitting around hoping things will change, enough. It's time to just take action. I think in your case, you've kind of got this Seven of Cups energy here with all these signs, all these different directions that you can go, and you're trying to tune into your intuition. You might be hermetizing so that you can silence the noise, so that you can pinpoint this one part of the song and why those lyrics stand out to you. Interesting that that came into my head. You know when you listen to a song over and over and over again, and you fall in love with it, but then you get sick of it because it's so repetitive that you can't listen to it 5 times a day anymore, right? So you put it away, you listen to some other stuff on your playlist, and then maybe 3 months goes by, 6 months, a year goes by, and you listen to that song again, and you're like, oh my God, I haven't listened to this in a while. I wonder why I stopped listening to this song. And it feels fresh again. And you hear something in that song, you hear a lyric that resonates with you so deeply, and you wonder why you never heard that lyric before, why it never hit you the way that it did before. I feel like that's the energy that you're in right now. You've been playing the same old song, and you're tired of the same old song. So you're going back to your playlist. You're digging deep. All these songs that are available to you on your iPad, on your iPod, your phone, you're going through the songs of your life. And you're figuring out what it is that is standing out to you. I feel like there's a message in the past here, because I keep getting this feeling of repetition, and that could just be the monotony of life. You could just be ready for change because everything just feels the same over and over and over again. It's funny because if you look at this card, it's pointing in all different directions, all these different roads that you could take. But you're looking for the road that leads you to some different kind of scenery. You're looking for the road that will send you towards this light. Because everything else looks the same in the imagery. So you're looking for something that will break monotony, that will break repetition. You're tired of the same old thing. And I think this might be the truth that you're searching for. And you feel like if I could just harness this one truth, if I could just dig deep enough into my brain and find this clarity that I'm looking for, that I'm clearly stressed out about, I can emerge from my cocoon. I can take flight. I can go from black and white to color, vibrant, a vibrant life, a vibrant, it's interesting that I said violent too, I'm going to come back to that. A vibrant life, a vibrant passion. This is how you want to live your life. You're done with black and white in the month of April. You want things that move you. And I said violent instead of vibrant a second ago. Swords, for those that aren't familiar with the more in-depth details of the tarot, when we look at the tarot by class, if we look at the different suits, right, our swords, our cups, our wands, our pentacles, swords represent the upper class. They represent nobles, lords, right, people of high nobility. And when we look at a sword, this represents mental energy, obviously, but it also represents fast change that it cuts. It's violent change. It's a violent message. And I don't mean that you're going to be physically violent in the month of April. I mean that this is going to come quickly, swiftly out of nowhere, to the point where you're going to be like, how did I not see this all along? How could I have been so blind? How could I have felt so lost? It's going to be a light bulb aha moment. And as I said light bulb, I immediately noticed a big flicker on the candle here. So you're trying to make this transition in the month of April. Let's see what else we have. Oh, that's wrong order. I respect property of others. I benefit with gratitude. That word gratitude really, really stands out to me. There is like I heard that louder than I have the rest of the reading. This word of gratitude feels like it is one of the most pivotal parts of the reading. And I feel like if you are operating from a place of gratitude in the month of April, you will find your answer in that gratitude. This Ace of Swords could be a pen. It could be a journal. It could be somewhere where you write down your thoughts. It could be this blunt instrument, right? The pen is mightier than the sword. And I feel like if you are keeping a gratitude journal, or even if you just wake up every morning in the month of April and you say to yourself, here's what I'm grateful for, that's where you're going to find your answer of what it is that's going to break the sap that you're sitting in, that's keeping you in this dark, that's keeping you in this black and white. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. That is going to be one of the most important things for you in the month of April. I respect the property of others. So again, you're staying, I don't even want to make this about what's going on in the world, but you're keeping to yourself in the month of April. You're distancing yourself. You're respecting other people's needs and boundaries. I think this has to do with space, the space that people find themselves in. Maybe you are in the month of April. Here's something for some of you. I see you looking at people in your life that are in this black and white energy, and you're ready to bust out of the cocoon. This does not suit you anymore. You're ascending. You're scared because change is scary, but you're going forward anyways. And the people that you leave behind in the month of April, you are thanking them for their contribution to your journey, to your growth, to your learning, right? Their role in your life. But you're understanding that not everybody can go with you. Not everybody can take flight. And some people in your life are not ready to live in this vibrant color. So you're respecting the property of others, as in their space. And when I say space, I mean their emotional space, their intellectual space, what space it is that they find themselves on this timeline. If they're not ready for growth, you can still be grateful for the role that they played in your life, and you can still move on. Wish them well. Maybe I'll see you on the other side sometime. Right? So you understand that you can move forward, still be grateful to the people that took you to where you are, that helped you learn the lessons that were needed to make this breakthrough, and know that in time, when these people are in a different space, then perhaps they can join you. I think, too, this has to do with when you break through, you need to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that are in the same mental, spiritual, and emotional space as you. That is the property that you are respecting. Okay, let's keep going. Authenticity. Oh, I keep pulling these backwards, sorry. Okay, here's gratitude again. What did I say? Gratitude is going to be the most important thing for you to remember this month. Through all of our challenges, where we cannot ascend without gratitude. It's almost like closing. I see a book being closed in my mind. You could be finishing a book that you've always wanted to read, and you learn something from it. It gives you some aha moment in your life. But I feel like in order to close the page, we need a happy ending here. And it might not be the perfect ending. It might not be the ending that you've always wanted, but it's one that you leave. It's that saying. It's not how you start things in life, it's how you finish them that matters. You're finishing with grace and class. Anything that you have to leave behind, anyone that you have to leave behind, that you're leaving them behind with gratitude, with positivity. I love you, I respect you, right? I respect you. Maybe I'll see you on the other side. You're not burning bridges through these transitions, okay? What else do we have? Inspiration? Yeah, I feel this new sense of inspiration. And it's funny because I use these cards for this particular spread, and we just have all these beautiful different versions of different types of butterflies here. Perhaps this is what sparks this inspiration, is learning to operate from a place of gratitude, right? Strength, the Magician, and the Queen of Swords. See, this Queen of Swords, she's seen what there is to see. She has seen what there is to see, and this is right next to our Ace of Swords here in the future. She has the ability to cut in and out of her life, right? I feel like you're embracing this Queen of Swords energy, and I just got no more bullshit, no more lies. No more bullshit, no more lies. I feel like you're standing in truth in the month of April. You're standing in truth and you know what you know. And you're so firm in your truth. You're so strong in your knowledge that even when people don't give you the respect, they don't respect that you know the truth, even though they don't know that you know the truth, you smile and you nod and you wish this person well. I really like that energy. It's like learning to wield power for your own benefit. And any low vibrational energy, it's not even worth your time because you're in a different space. You're vibrating on a different level than these people that you're cutting out. We have strength here, so you could be a Leo. We have the Magician. We have the Queen of Swords, some air energy. We are moving. I feel like even though you've got this on your mind, you understand that you have the strength and the tools necessary to manifest into this butterfly, into this ascension. And you're not letting anything get in the way. No more bullshit, no more lies. This could be you saying this to yourself. I'm done lying to myself. I'm operating from my own place of truth. I know what I need to change in order to make that transition. I'm getting out of my head. I'm cutting out all of the swords that are on this card that don't serve me anymore. And I'm moving on. I'm ascending. 8 of Cups here, as I say, we're moving on. You're moving on from whatever it is that's holding you in this space. Taming the beast, using all the tools at your disposal to ascend. And I feel like this truth, this clarity that you get, the things that you're able to cut out of your life that are holding you in this cocoon, instead of letting you be free. You'll respect these things too when you cut them out. You will thank them. Thank you, stress. Thank you, every worry. Thank you, every negative thing that might have happened to get me into this place, for building me into this magician, for making me this strong, this tough, invincible. Because I needed all of this in order to walk away and to ascend. We have the fountain underneath. You're operating, you're moving on. You are moving into this space of transformation. For your affirmation, we have the card of authenticity. Authenticity is the name of the game. Whatever comes up, I will feel it. Whatever needs to be said, I will say it. Whoever doesn't get it doesn't have to get it, right? Whoever doesn't get it doesn't have to get it, but at least they know it because I've said it. And that's way better than leaving a passive-aggressive note about it. You're being your authentic self. For some of you, I understand that this authentic self. People might look at you and say, you've changed. You're different. oh, you think you're big and bad now. That's the vibe that I'm getting from some of these lower vibrational people that you're moving past in the month of April. And you're basically looking at them and saying to them, with this sword on your lap, sitting on your throne, and you're saying, actually, this is the person that I've been all along. It's just that this month I've decided to show off my wings. Right? It's like you understand that you are, it's not that, for some of you, it's not that you've changed, it's that you're learning to flex those wings. And you're not afraid to show people your grandeur. And some people might be taken aback by that, especially if you're dealing with jealous people that have some issue respecting you, or that want to hold you down a little bit so that they can feel better. They kind of like the underdog. That's the feeling that I'm getting. You're thinking to yourself, I've always been this person. I've always been this strong. It's just that this is the only moment that you can actually see it, right? That you can actually see how bright I shine, how great I am. Very, very interesting. Let's clarify this Queen of Swords, please. Queen of Swords, please. Clarify the Queen of Swords. Got one there. The Queen of Pentacles. You are standing strong. You're stable. It's like no one can shake this mental space that you're in. No one can shake that. You're rooted in something so deep. This could be an earth sign that you're kind of setting boundaries for, that you are, because remember I said boundaries earlier? This could be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, that you're saying, no, I'm sorry, I'm not operating outside of my power to make you feel better. That's not the space that I'm in. I respect your space, but that's not where I am. So that could be here. But I see this more as you, not just in your mind, holding that throne, but practically as well. Like I said, there's this movement here, there's this action. You understand that you are the one that has to split the cocoon open. And so it's not just in your brain that you know change needs to happen. It's in practical matters too. What's the first step? What's the second step? I'm writing it down. I'm showing gratitude about that in my journal. And the more grateful I become for the 10 steps that seem so aggravating and painful, the more grateful that I become to those steps, the greater I can surpass them, the greater that I can get over them, the greater that I can conquer them in this stable energy. I really like this energy. Okay, let me pull one of the archetypes cards for you. Whoa, we ain't doing that today. We're not doing where I read 30 cards, okay? Let's see if I can just get one or two. All right, for our little butterflies for the month of April, please. Okay, that's the one, the King. Again, like, I feel like it's not a coincidence that I mentioned this thing of royalty, right? Of thrones, of standing in power. Let's see the book definition. As I said in the intro, I got this deck a little while ago, and I haven't been able to play with it. You might have seen the unboxing and review that I did on this channel. And so I thought, you know what better way to learn than to pull one for every reading, and then we can read the definitions and learn them together. The King. All right. The King, the ruler, the commander, the emperor. If our lives are imagined as a kingdom containing the entire spectrum of human experience, the King presides over it all. Through the lens of the King, we assess the state of our land, Again, we're digging deep for truth. We're assessing the state of our land. Make decisions and rule accordingly. Therefore, the king must be thoroughly and regularly vetted so as to avoid corruption. Recognize the dual nature of the king. He is either seated in benevolence and strength. Wow, strength, right? Guiding you towards peace. Or he is oppressing the weak out of a need to control. There is not much middle ground. Some think of the king as the ultimate expression of the ego. Yet the great kings of mythology and history serve from an egoless place. Again, it's very important in the month of April that you not burn bridges, that you understand your truth, and you can stand strong in your truth. You can do that without stepping on anybody's neck. Watch your words, be kind, and understand that even these people that aggravate you, that harass you, that piss you off, that send negative energy your way, all the daily struggles that we have with human interaction. Those people, you look at them through a lens of they still have growth to do, and I'm not going to judge. In fact, if I can help you, tell me how I can help you on your journey, right? Instead of lashing out at people. Okay? We're not trying to control. We're respecting other people's mental, emotional, and spiritual state. We're ruling kindly in the month of April. Our ascension is what matters, and how we treat people is how we ascend, right? They take their throne with grace and humility. Again, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Knowing the divine uses them, this magician card, the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing discrepancies in the kingdom. Wow, that doesn't fall in line with our reading. I don't know what does. And listen to this, because I remember when I said there, I have this vision of like getting so tired of the same old song, the same monotony, the same just over, like you just like, it's like, I almost said the F word, and I very rarely curse, but this is the frustration that I feel like you guys are feeling for whoever picked this. It's like F, like I just want something different. Like, why won't anything change? Right? The king is necessary. He is a bridge between the eternal and the day-to-day. It is also said that it is necessary for the king to die. This is a death of the ego. Death of the ego. And this definitely can represent death, because we have this transformation. If you've watched any of my readings, you know that I see a butterfly, that's transformation. That's change. That's death and rebirth. Right? So this king is necessary, right? In order to bridge between the eternal and the day-to-day. And that very much is this between two worlds. The eternal, which is this beautiful, vibrant, luscious, juicy, yummy, yes space that you want to operate in, and this mundane, cloudy day-to-day grind, right? Let's see what else we have here. Once the king's relationship to divinity is broken or challenged, he often acts from a place of fear, scrambling to uphold his image and power. Don't let your ego keep you in this space. Don't be too proud to beg, right? This strength could also represent being guarded with our hearts and our minds. Walk away from that ego. Walk away from anything in your thoughts that is low vibrational like this. Because you've got places to be in the month of April. You're starting out on this journey where you change. When light, benevolence, divine leadership, service, and nobility. When dark, oppression, misuse of power, corruption. Okay, so that is your reading. I hope that this reading resonates. Let me know down below how you feel about it. and what it is that you're working on in the month of April. I know that other people love to read comments of people that are going through things that are similar to theirs. Remember, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Live in your truth and use your power wisely in the month of April. I'm so grateful that you came by my channel today. I'm not sure if I'm still doing a giveaway on another Kim Kranz deck by the time that you see this video. I very well could be. If not, I'm sure there's another giveaway, tarot deck giveaway happening on my channel. So don't forget to check me out on Instagram because that's where I announce all of those giveaways. If this is where I leave you, I'm so grateful that you watched, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Hello, if you picked pile number 2, this beautiful, delicate gold cello, could be a violin, but I think it's a cello, then this is the reading for you on what you can expect in the month of April. Let's get started. From the instrument, from this cello, I'm picking up this desire or this need, or perhaps something that your intuition is hinting at that is telling you about flow. Now, obviously, you could be listening to a lot of music in the month of April, but I feel like part of what makes playing an instrument so difficult is not just knowing, not just having the knowledge on where to put your fingers to get the chords to play the right way, those strings, right? It's about learning when to let go, when to put the right amount of pressure on the bow, when to weave your hand, and how to flow with the instrument. And I definitely feel this need to either go with the flow, understand the flow. I see some of you this month trying to change your frequency, to fine-tune your frequency, making sure that the frequency that you're on is one that is going to manifest the life that you feel that you really desire. I see this need to know when to apply pressure and when to let go. What things are there in your life that need action, that need you to play the instrument? And what is it that needs you to just allow to glide, to flow on its own? I definitely see a lot of manifestation energy in this, and I can feel it. It's like this idea about frequency, what frequency you're operating on, is going to be very, very important in the month of April. I also see some of you finding the time to indulge a little bit, right? Because music in particular is a bit of a treat that we can give ourselves in our lives. It's something that can stimulate the senses, that can make us feel things, that can put us in certain, I kind of feel like I need one more, that can put us in places that feel deeply, that relax us. There's a bit of a sense of luxury, especially with this being a cello and it being gold. Like there's this desire to indulge. You could be practicing a lot of self-care. Maybe you're listening to beautiful string music while you take a hot bath. But definitely get the sense that kind of going within and doing that self-care with this instrument. I get the sense that you want to be heard in the month of April. Perhaps there's a feeling that you're not seen, that you're not heard. You are this precious thing, this gold instrument, and nobody sees or hears you. And so perhaps you're deciding if the audience that you're playing for is the right audience for you. If your clan, if your tribe is the right one, or if you need to branch out into a different genre, into a different theater. I get this sense that some things are all for show. I'm not sure where that's going, but that just came into my head. Some things are for show. And perhaps you're trying to find this place where you can live authentically, and things aren't for show, things are real, things are, they are what they are. You're living, you're not, for example, living one life on Instagram and your life at home is completely separate from that. It's completely different. There's nothing for show here. I think that you're trying to figure out in the month of April what is for show and what is real. And I think that has a lot to do with the people in your life as well. Who is for show? And who is it that's real? Who is the real, like, ride or die? Who is it that really has your best interests at heart? Who is it that really understands you, hears you, operates on the right wavelength for you? You could be a musician, obviously. You could be learning to play an instrument in the month of April. So we have serendipity, co-create, soulmates, and chop wood. Oh, okay. So, again, going with the flow. This could be in regards to a relationship where you are trying to see if this person vibes with you, if this person is your soulmate, right? Are we serendipitously attached to one another? I see some of you in the month of April struggling with a love that you feel so tied to that you hear it in your ears like a song. Rhythm and flow is something that comes to mind here. Again, this idea of where do you push and where do you pull? And where do you just let go and let things come to you? I feel like in the month of April, pile number 2 is trying to figure out, why do I hear this song? Why do I hear this song? Why am I so drawn to this song, right? This person, this thing. This could be a work venture. It could be a person. It could be just a friend. It could be a creative calling. Why do I feel like I've played this song before and I'm so connected to it? This penguin holds a gold key that looks very similar to this violin or this cello, this instrument. This is an instrument of the heart though, right? Unlocking the heart, the key to somebody's heart, the soulmate card. And you're trying to figure out why, and I feel like some of these feelings are a bit of a frustration too. Why am I so stuck on this person? Why can't I get this person out of my head? Why do I feel like this person has my key? It's like, why do I feel like we're so deeply connected on this same frequency? And yet maybe we're apart. So you're struggling with these feelings of, why does this feel so meant to be? Why does this feel like my song? But okay. There are certain channels here on YouTube that play these songs that they kind of remix. And it's like a famous song. I'm trying to think of an example so that you can look it up if you want to. What was one that I listened to recently? Fools Rush In is one, right? Ooh, maybe that's Fools Rush In. That song might have some relevance to you here. They play the songs, but they add, like, fools rush in except you're standing outside in the rain. And in the song you hear it, but it's like an echo. And I feel like that's exactly, Google that if this resonates with you. Fools rush in the rain, or From Another Room. I don't know the exact titles of the videos, but you'll see the genre of music that I'm talking about here on YouTube. It's very beautiful. But I feel like that's the feeling. You're listening to a song and you're not in the room. You can hear it and you can't get past the wall that is between you and this beautiful song. And I feel like that has to do with this person. And you almost feel, because we have this 4-leaf clover, there's a joy. There is because you have a song, right? And that in and of itself, to have a song in this day and age, with everything that's going on in the world, there's something bright and lucky about that. But also, I feel like this tortures you slightly, because there's a wall between you and the song, between you and this person, between you and somebody that you are craving, that you have this spiritual connection with, whose song you hear, who you feel is on the same frequency as you. And you're stuck between letting it flow because you feel it and you're like, you know what, if this is meant for me, it's meant for me, and chopping wood. Actually just going out with your axe and making it happen and tearing walls down, right? To break down the wall that's between you and this beautiful song. So there's a push and a pull. You're having a tug of war here between letting it flow, letting the music just come out of you, whatever happens, letting the universe take your hand, take that bow, and make the music that it wants. And you grabbing the axe and chipping away at whatever it is that you have to do to get to this soulmate, to co-create, to co-mingle. And again, this doesn't have to be a person, because I can hear some of you saying, I'm not thinking about love right now. I'm sorry. I just heard something. And once I said that, I'm not thinking about, for those of you that like to pop off in these tarot comments, I'm not thinking about love right now. And the universe, right? This is the voice that I heard, said, the F you're not. So some of you might even be in denial that this is on your heart. But again, I recognize that not everybody comes to these videos for love. So this could be a friendship. It could be a project. It could be a creative endeavor, because we have co-create here. You want to be heard. You want to be seen by this thing. You want to be acknowledged by the thing that you love, whether that is a hobby, another human being, a friend, a parent, a family situation that you want to heal and bring back together. You want to be heard, you want to be seen, and you don't understand, why can I be heard and seen when I feel this strong tie? I feel this rhythm. I hear them in my heart. I hear their song. Very interesting. Let's continue. Oh, we had one more observer. Okay, so this could be somebody that you're watching from a distance, right? And you're thinking, how do I bridge the gap? How do I bring this to fruition? How do I bring us together? What song do I have to play? What frequency do I have to emit? I just said admit by accident. Interesting. I'm going to come back to that in a second. What frequency do I have to emit? I wanted to do it again and say admit. In order to chop wood, to break down the wall, to open the door, so that I can be in the same room as this beautiful song, right? With this admit that I keep saying by accident, you're watching this person, this thing. And I think some of you are struggling. The people that feel tortured, you're struggling right now between this place of, why do I want this so deeply if it wasn't meant for me? And is it time for me to admit that the songs that we play, me and this person, are not meant to be played together? They're so different in genre. They're so different in mood and tempo, in rhythm. And some of you are coming into this place in April where you have to admit that to yourself. You have to admit to yourself that you can play the same song and still not be meant for each other. And even in this card, there's this beautiful moment, right? Beautiful, gorgeous moment where these two penguins, one of them holds the key to the other one's heart. But this heart I think for some of you is a little beaten, right? It's a little bloody. That entrance, that orifice where somebody can turn the key and light you up and love you and make you feel great. There's a little bit of sadness in those penguins. There's a little bit of pain in the keyhole to get to this place. And so you're battling, do I chop wood? Or do I let nature take its course? Do I let the universe do its work? Very interesting. What else do we have? I speak positively of others, and I am trustful in my relationships. Wow. I get the feeling here, if we look at this card, these people are not in the same room together. In fact, you might even say that this person is let me put these down, sorry. This person might be a thought bubble of this person's. And there's this question of trust. For those of you that are having this moment where you're trying to observe and see if you have to admit that this might not be for you, or it might not be for you right now, you're trusting that if it is, that it will come in due time when it's supposed to flow, instead of when you are chopping with that axe to try to open that door. So some of you are doing that. I also see this telepathy here, right? With our visual of this song that plays in your ears, in your heart, that nobody seems to hear, that you might even be wondering if this person hears. You might even be trying to send that song to them. And I hope you understand by now that when I say that song, I mean the frequency, right? The desire, the yearning to be with them, to be seen. You want them to hear your song. You want them to see you, to know you. You might be putting them in your thoughts, and by doing so, hoping that like the universe brings that message back around to you, that you can implant it into their brain. Trusting that relationships that are meant to be will be. I speak positively of others. I believe that this card has a lot to do with not giving up. Even if things aren't working right now, even if you feel drawn to a person and you don't know why, and you're kicking yourself in the butt, saying, why can't I just let this go? To speak positively on that experience, to understand what it is that you need to be grateful for, what lesson it is that you're learning right now about patience, right? About what is and what isn't meant to be, about attachment, about love, about reciprocity, about if you even like this song, or if this is just a song that you've trained yourself to love because you've heard it so many times, right? You know those songs that you hear and you're like, this is a garbage song, but there's a reason that it's popular, because it's catchy, right? And it gets into your brain, and even when you hate it, you end up saying the lyrics, and it's still stuck there in your mind, it's still implanted there. And you grow to love it, even though, because you've been exposed to it over and over and over again. Some of you might need to detach from constantly seeing this person, especially if you're watching them on social media, right? Page of Swords energy here. If you're watching them, maybe it's time to put some distance between you and the song to keep the wall up. But I have a feeling that whoever this is resonating for, you're ready to chop wood. You're doing the opposite. You're coming up with a 10-point plan on how it is that you can bridge the gap here to be with this person. Let's see what else we have. Pride. Ooh, yeah, letting pride get in the way. Why can't I have this? Why can't, right? Like, for some reason, I'm reminded of that girl with the chocolate in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'm not saying that that's you, but like emotionally, that might be what you're transmitting. And that resistance is it might be pushing this song farther away from you. We have thoughtfulness right above this card of trusting, of telepathy, of holding something in your mind. You think about this all the time. And of course, soulmates are something that you're going to think about quite often, right? But soulmates aren't always meant to be in our lives to be in our lives. They're meant to teach us something along our journey. I think you're coming into this place in the month of April where you're stuck between the physical and the metaphysical, right? Spiritual. How much am I trusting into the universe for this versus how much action I'm planning to take on my own? I have a feeling that it's this. We're going to spend less time doing this, and we're going to chop some wood. And we're going to try. Even if it feels like the universe is saying, no, 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 not right now, not right now, not right now. We still got our eyes on the cookie jar. We still want that cookie. And we're going to work to see what time does mom and dad go to bed so I can sneak downstairs and I can open the lid and put my hand in the jar. Right? What steps do I need to take to be with this person? So I see a lot of watching, some waiting. And this idea that perhaps I need to watch my balance between expecting luck to happen to me and me happening to it. Let's see what we got for the tarot. The Three of Cups, the Six of Coins, the Page of Coins, and the Ace of Wands. Yeah. A lot of newness, new beginnings. You want to come into union with somebody. You want this reason to celebrate. You want this. You might even be asking your friends, like, is such and such single? Is such and such? Tell me what you know about them, right? Because you might want to send a message. Take that first little step to make this happen, to chop that wood, to ignite this passion. The universe is asking you for balance. Make sure that you're on a frequency that brings this balance, where you are pushing just enough and waiting for something to come in, right? We've got a little bit of everything here. Actually, I don't see any swords. I don't see any air energy, but we've got water, earth, fire energy here. This person you want so badly, person, thing, relationship, job, creative endeavor, you want to take that first step. And like I said, I don't feel like you're sitting and waiting. You want to play the song yourself. You're like, if I have to go out and buy the violin or buy the cello and take the classes, if that's what it's going to take for me to make this frequency, I'm chopping that wood. I am making this happen. I am not taking no for an answer. I like this energy. If there's something in your heart that is telling you that even though there's a slim chance that you might get something, and you still feel so this deeply connected to it, that you're willing to grab an axe and break a door down, not in real life, okay? I don't want any of you ending up in prison, all right? To get this spark, to start this newness, then I absolutely encourage you. I don't feel like that can be a lie. That's just you being true to yourself there, you know? For your affirmation, we have inspiration. Oh boy, you're not going to believe this. Talk about serendipity, right? I feel like I'm going to encourage some of you to just go from like stalking, from like watching somebody, to like reaching out to them, okay? There is a voice of inspiration within me. Right now, it's only a whisper, but the more I listen, the louder it will get. Soon it will be a flawless speech, voiced by James Earl Jones through a megaphone with lots of applause. Does this not fall in line with our song? With hearing that song, that melody in your head? I feel like this person inspires you. This thing inspires you. This could be completely just not relationship, but it's time to get a hobby. If you're in isolation right now, you might as well learn to do something cool with it, right? But I feel like it's a metaphor for most of you on what that voice is, what that melody is that you can hear from another room, to the point that people might even think you're crazy. You're like, do you hear that song? And people are like, no, what song are you hearing, sis? We don't hear that song. There's a song in your heart. There's a song in your mind. And I believe that that song is another person. And you are working, April. It's like, you know what? I'm done waiting for the universe. I feel like I'm being drawn to take action. I need to know, even if this song isn't for me, I need to know why it is that I hear it so loudly and that it stirs me so deeply. Okay? I want to, let's see what this Page of Coins is. Clarify the Page of Coins, please. This is the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. You're taking action, and look at what's at the bottom, the Magician. You are taking action because this person is ingrained so deep in your mind that when you think of them, they probably think of you. We have this reciprocity, this almost like telepathy. And even if things don't work out with this lucky card, you know two things. One, you were brave enough to boss up, put your big girl panties on, and go for what you wanted, even if it didn't work out for you. Because you were so moved by this person's song. And maybe some other things with this wand, if you catch my drift, okay? I mean, this is double confirmation that you're going to make a move. You're taking the first step. This might be something small. You might follow them on social media, right? With the Observer. You're trying to find a little way to crack the door open. And if I feel like if that doesn't work, you're going to open the floodgates, right? You're going to start here. And you're going to move into something more if they still don't hear your song. Knight of Cups at the bottom. If you don't listen to my page, I'm bringing the horse in. I'm riding in on a horse. Right? To offer something. So I feel like if you're on the fence, this could be your confirmation that it's okay to make the first move, to test the water on this, okay? I'm going to pull an archetype card for you. And we're going to see, like I said at the beginning, I got this deck a while ago. I haven't learned it yet. I haven't had too much time to sit down with it. So whatever card you pull, we'll read it together. The last one was pretty cool. Let's see what we get here. For our beautiful musicians here, I almost said magicians. Musicians, for our creators, right, with the Magician. For our people that are taking their tools, that are making things happen. What message do you have for them, please? For our cellos, for group number 2. What message, please? For group number 2. For group number 2, please. This is the one that came out on top. Kairos and Anima Mundi. I usually only take one, but I'll give you at least a brief one because I think I already know what this is. And it does fall in line with the reading, so I feel like it was meant to be. All right, let's start with Kairos. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Kairos. Just flip into the page here. Bear with me. right. I'm sorry, it's just, there's so much that's lining up today. It just feels good when we're all on the same page. I know I'm getting the messages right. Mythic time and synchronicity. We have all had the experience of timelessness, of life beyond the ticking of the clock. It may be felt as time standing still, slow motion, or losing track of time on a walk or in a lovely conversation. This is known as mythic time, and it is the territory of Kairos. This card suggests there is a secondary time continuum that goes beyond any earthly clocks and schedules. Within this non-linear realm, we access divine timing. A single moment ripens with auspiciousness, and our actions change the trajectory of our whole life. So, before I continue, this feeling of something being beyond space and time, this connection, this song that you continue to hear, this feeling of having that song in your head and feeling almost otherworldly, knowing that even though the facts in the real world might not line up to this desire, to this connection that you feel, feeling it on a different wavelength, on a different plane, like maybe I knew you, my soulmate in another life, right? Taking action against these odds, against this, because you feel something so divine in this connection. If I'm not meant to be, what is that song? It just came in my head. I don't know. I think it might actually be called If You're Not the One. It's an older song, and I believe the lyrics are, if you're not the one, then why am I so drawn to you, or something like that. I think it's called If You're Not the One. I'm sure somebody will know the song and they'll put it down in the description. Maybe that's the song that you're vibrating on right now, right? Trying to draw in this soulmate. If I remember it, I will add it down there as well, okay? Or in the comments. Let's continue. So yeah, deciding to try to take action maybe. That push and that pull between what feels divine and what you can control when it's time to chop wood. Time becomes a living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak or act. When this card appears, it is all about patience and precision. Did I not say patience earlier? No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing and not a moment longer. So this you're observing, you're waiting, you're looking for this serendipity. I want the signs to line up that tells me when it is that I need to chop wood to co-create and make this happen. This passion, this person, this thing, this job, this hobby, right? When light, alignment, ease in decisions and action. So this idea of going with the flow, like I said earlier, with this going with the rhythm and flow. When dark, fighting against time. So this could be the darker aspect where you're like, I don't care if the answer is no, universe. We're busting down this door and I'm going to do what I want. I'm grown. You can't tell me what to do. But I see this almost in a playful way. You know, I don't see this as something that where you're trying to force anybody to do anything weird, or I see this as, listen, let me just shoot a little shot, just to see what happens if I put this out there, right? If I let this person know. So that could be what the dark is. Let's see what else we have. Compare the Greek words chronos and kairos. This will guide you to an understanding of logos and mythos, okay? So you've got some homework to do. I'll put this up a little closer if you need to screen cap that, if you're interested in learning what the deck is recommending. And then here we have the word evil comes from the root unripe. Consider that everything has a time of ripeness, when it becomes a nourishing fruit, sweet to the lips. So this push and pull, I feel like you're wondering, is it the right time? Is the fruit ripe for me to bust down the door and to make an offer? Okay. I'm just going to get a general meaning of this Anima Mundi card. You know, animus in general, anima and animus, it's like feminine and masculine energy. Animus is like operating from, in the context of this reading, I feel like operating from a place of anger, of why can't I have this? Why can't this be mine? But the anima, I feel like it's different. It's like, I'm going to take some steps, and if the answer is no, I'm okay. I know I'll survive, right? It's not coming from a place of throwing a fit or in that sense, if that makes sense. Let's see here. Going to the page here. And again, because we got two cards, I'm just going to give you a general overview of what the card means. So when this is light, it says tending to the sacred details of life. When dark, overwhelmed by the bigness of existence. The embrace of Anima Mundi is available anytime, anywhere to anyone, day or night, rich or poor. It is a process of unveiling our resistance to its love. Now I feel like I have to read it. If you don't want to read it, then totally skip this part, okay? Anima Mundi epitomizes the principle, accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world, in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by loving cosmic forces. This almost makes me feel like perhaps the push and pull is within you on whether or not you even believe that you feel this frequency, this song, that you hear these lyrics. Maybe you're trying to push that thought out of your head because it feels too pie in the sky. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied. Embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal. Okay? The rational and the mythic. Some of you could feel like this is irrational. It's funny because during this reading, a lot of cars have driven by, and a lot of them have been blasting their radios, which didn't happen in the last reading. So I feel like song, that vibration, that frequency is very important here. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note. Oh, a music reference. A critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Oh my God. You will, for those of you in the beginning, before I had pulled the cards out, where I said some of you feel like you're not seen or heard, this is for you here. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. If you are pushing this idea, if you feel tied to something or someone, and you're pushing the idea away, you're being told to make an offer. You're being told to stop doing that, to embrace, take that instrument and learn how to play it. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. Very, very nice reading for my little musicians here. I hope that this reading resonated. I believe that by the time this video goes up, there still will be a giveaway of the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. I do giveaways usually 2 or 3 times a month on my Instagram. The information for that is up here, so feel free to follow me there and to participate if you're interested in winning a different Kim Kranz deck, which is also the creator of this deck here. If this is where I leave you, thanks for watching. As always, you can reach out to me on my website for a personal reading. I hope you guys have an awesome April. Let me know what song it is that is stuck in your head that you cannot let go of. Let me know what person it is. Comment down below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Alrighty, if you picked deck number 3, then this is the reading for you on what you can expect for the month of April 2020. You picked this gold starfish. I get this energy off of this starfish that some of you in the month of April are submerging. Interesting. Laying out. Really spreading yourselves on the ground, on the, metaphorically, stretching yourselves out. You could be stretching yourself a little thin in the month of April, but I get this sense that you're more so opening up from a tight grip that you've kept on yourself in some capacity. I get the feeling that some of you are submerging. You're submerging in water. You are healing something. This reminds me of the frog in the archetype deck, the wild unknown archetypes. The frog jumps into water and submerges himself because he knows that the water is healing. I get the sense that some of you are trying to heal something and you're almost cocooning. You are cleansing yourself with water, trying to heal something. This could be something emotional because of the starfish and the water imagery. You could be a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces, right? You could be a water sign. I also get this sense that you're willing to go deep into the emotion to heal something, deep into the emotions to get an answer to something that's been tugging at you, that's been stretching you out, that's been causing you to kind of open your arms and to stretch your body. It's like you have to ply your body open to get this healing out, to get this truth out, to get this emotion out. This could be a very emotional month for you in April here for pile number 3. You could be headed to the beach, although I don't know if that would be true for all of you given everything that's going on in the world. You could be feeling like you want to get out, like you want to get outside. If you are self-quarantining, if you are staying inside for a little bit, you could be feeling this weird nudge to kind of get out and to spread your wings a little bit. But I definitely get the sense that you are in need of some healing. And that's what you're kind of looking for here. Just getting these in order that they came out. I'm not sure why I spread those out yet. I also see that some of you might be in this space where you're ready to open up emotionally. You're ready to be seen. You are ready to be heard. What you feel, you're ready for the world to feel, or the people, your friends, the people closest to you. I get a little bit of melancholy here with this isolation, this isolated little starfish. But I also get that perhaps you'll be getting some recognition in the month of April that you were lacking, that you felt didn't come through. Perhaps you did something for somebody, or you you've supported somebody in some way and they didn't reciprocate, and that left you feeling a little melancholy. People didn't see your value, didn't see your worth. They took you for granted. And I see this almost as you're finally getting that recognition that people treasure you. But definitely the idea of kind of diving deep here, looking for renewal. There could be layers of your personality, of your psyche, of your emotions that you feel you need to shave off. I got that. I'm not sure where that's coming from. I think it's because of the rough texture of this starfish. You want to smooth the edges out. The feeling of needing to ground yourself, of needing to stick to something. Holding on for dear life. Interesting. We'll see what that's about. Holding on to something that you feel you need, like a foundation, something that makes you feel at home. This could even be an emotional crutch of some sort that you're holding on to in the month of April. Let's see where this is going. New life, mending, message in a bottle, and truth be told. So we have some water imagery here, message in a bottle. And I feel like this is a message that's coming into you from the water, from your deep emotion. Like I said, it's like you're submerging yourself to find some information, to find some truth about yourself, to find an emotional, something that's lurking under the water, an entire life, an entire part of you, of your existence, of something that's in the depth. And this is where you're going to find this answer, by diving deep into emotion. You could obviously be hearing from somebody that you felt this deep emotional tie to. But the idea of mending, the idea of cleansing, of healing, very interesting. Let me get something on this truth be told. Clarify truth be told, please. Clarify truth be told. I think this is, the conversations that we have with ourselves. Ace of Wands. Ooh. Okay. Okay, I think I know where we're going with this. We have remember what I was saying about the starfish attaching itself to something so that it doesn't wash away. I feel like pile number 3, you are looking for something to attach to that will give you a firm foundation, a new spark, a new creative endeavor, you're looking for something true that is sturdy, that is strong, that you can cling on to in a transitionary period in your life. The thing that you could be clinging on to is your truth. That could be the harbinger of this new passion, of this. And what I mean by that is, if we're making a transition, we have to have a solid why as to why it is that we're turning the page. What is it that we're moving towards? What is it that we see in the future for ourselves? And I think that there's something deep in the surface, something broken in the emotions that makes you want to dive and say, what is this thing? What is this thing that needs to be fixed? What is this thing that needs to be healed? And when you find that truth, you'll spring into action. You'll start anew. I see this as a moment of deep emotional reflection, and I'm getting kind of choked up when I'm trying to. It's like there's this resistance. There's a, excuse me, there's something in your throat where you feel like you can't get it out. This could be telling somebody that you're into them, digging deep into the heart to see where feelings lie, and knowing that this could be the beginning of a new life for you, a new chapter. Perhaps that's the message that you're waiting on. Is something in regards to love, a confirmation, some reciprocity, some reciprocity from somebody that you've taken an interest in. This could be somebody from your past, because we see mending here. Very Six of Cups, I see this, it reminds me of the Six of Cups, where those two, one of them is giving the other a flower. In this case, they're sewing something together. Let's see what else we have. I give offerings that are genuine, so again with this truth, and I follow my inner guidance. See what I mean? Diving deep. You are diving into this thing that's broken. I mean, look at the direction that she's diving, right? Towards the heart, towards this thing that needs to be healed, towards the self. I mean, it's like a direct shot. If we can't know what our truths are, we can't operate in truths. So you're diving into truth in the month of April. There is something that is aching, and you want to know what it is so that you can move forward. And you're not relying on anything outside of you in order to do that. You're following inner guidance, inner wisdom, High Priestess energy here. You are your own message. You very well could be a water sign. You are your own message in a bottle floating in the ocean. We have patience, thoughtfulness, spirituality, and pride. I see this as getting in tune with you, both spiritually and in the mind, with what it is that you're feeling, and not repressing that. I feel like whoever chose this pile, you're hiding from the emotion. You're trying to stop. It's like, if I hold on to this rock, if I stick to the edge of this pier hard enough, then I won't feel the waves rippling over me, backwards and forwards of emotion. And so there's a bit of a repression here. This could be you being in an environment where you don't feel like it's safe to offer that emotion. Or you could be in a place where you don't feel like you're maybe necessarily equipped right now emotionally to tackle this thing head on. We have the card of pride here. Sometimes our inability to tear down this ego, to check in and know, where am I operating out of pride, and where is it that I'm operating out of genuine heart, out of genuine emotion. We get stuck repressing things that are there, but we just want to prove ourselves right. We want to prove that these things aren't happening. We're not feeling these things. I very much get the feeling that that's what's happening here. There is something that you feel is almost like a fake message from yourself, because your pride is getting in the way. And this month is going to require some patience from you in order to stretch yourself out and to open yourself up to that running water, to the flood of emotions. Let's see what else we have. Justice, the Seven of Cups, the Sun, the Five of Wands, and the Queen of Coins. Okay, I feel here we have this, we're looking for happiness. We're looking for this feeling of freedom. You want to bask in the sun, but you can't feel the heat because there's a layer of ocean between you and this warmth. There's all this emotion that you can't quite figure out, that you can't quite get the truth of, that's blocking you and the sun. This Five of Wands falling on pride, I don't think that that's a coincidence. Pride, I follow my inner guidance, and the Five of Wands. You're conflicted. You're conflicted because the ego needs to come crashing down here so that we can really acknowledge what our emotions are. Have you ever been in a situation where you get mad at somebody, for example, and you spend so much time, let's say a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 20 years, being mad at that person that you don't even remember what it was that you were genuinely mad about? You just know you were mad. And that's almost becomes like the default setting because that is what feels right. But if we strip that back and we ask ourselves, why am I holding on to this? Why does this bother me so much? Then we realize that our pride was getting in the way of what we truly felt. And we can't mend those things with the ego. We have to mend them with the heart and with the mind, with the thoughtfulness, right? Connecting to spirit, being patient with ourselves and with the people around us. So I definitely get this sense that you're conflicted about the information. It's like a tug of war between your head and your heart. All of this falls on truth. There's turmoil in the truth. Conflicting ideas, competing ideas. And this, I believe, this has been the default setting, the standard way of operating for a while. And I don't feel like you necessarily know if you're getting anywhere with this. If we look at her face, it's like she's really feeling herself, right? And that's great unless you're stuck in this energy, unless you're too concerned with being right or with sticking to your guns versus being right. It's almost like your ego won't let you admit that you were wrong about something or that something needs to heal. So in that example that I gave you about being mad at somebody, in fact, I'll give you an example from my own life because I recently have been struggling with this. There's a person in my life that has done some things that I don't think are morally okay. And I struggle with the fact that to get ahead that somebody would do something so low. And it makes me angry. And I think to myself, I check in with myself and I ask myself, why specifically does this make you angry? And I think when I tune into the feeling, on the surface, it's, well, wrong is wrong and right is right, right? If you're doing something wrong, people aren't going to be happy about it. Nobody should condone people sinking low to make a buck or to get one over on somebody else or to, right? But when I really, really dig deep and ask myself why it bothers me so much, it's because it's not even just about doing something wrong. It's about all the people that are working so hard to make something of themselves doing right. It's not that because you have to ask yourself, is this coming from a place of jealousy? Is this coming from, it's coming from a place of, I don't think that people should have to walk over others to get ahead. And that's what really bothers me. So what can I do with that? What can I do with that knowledge? Well, I can help other people that I feel are working hard, doing honest work, and give them a leg up. Give them a leg up because they don't have the gall to do what this other person is doing. Instead of focusing my energy on the person doing wrong, I have to let my pride down and instead give love to the people that are doing right. And I feel like that's kind of what this spread is. There's something that needs to be acknowledged. What is the root of some emotional pain? What is the water that is standing between you and the sun? You and that happiness? It's funny that I gave that example because when I was done saying it, I was like, why are you talking about yourself? This isn't your channel. I mean, obviously it's my channel, but I very rarely talk about myself on this channel. And I see justice here and the Seven of Cups, and that's what I was talking about in that story, wanting to feel some justice, right? Bringing justice to the equation, and then feeling a lot of confusion, emotional confusion with the cups here about what that is, about what that looks like, about why I need it. I think that's the work that you have to do here in the month of April. There's somewhere in your life where you're operating out of ego. And if you were to break the ego down and really ask yourself, what is it about this situation that needs mending? What is it that triggers these emotions from me? You'll find the answer on the other side of this. You know, on the other side of this, you find this depth, this healing, this mending. You get your justice. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, I accidentally pulled 2 affirmations, so let's see. Perseverance. It seems you're on a massive journey right now, and this card has arrived to remind you that you will reach the other side. The mountain you're climbing is huge and formidable, but so is your ability to climb it. You don't need to enjoy it, you just need to tackle it. Complain if it makes the job easier. Blow off steam. You think mountain climbers get to the top of Everest on inspirational quotes? No way. They're grunting and crying and cursing like freaking pirates. That just doesn't sell a lot of posters. That's funny. This is a bonus card. These are kind of rarer in this deck. So when you get a bonus card, you know it's meant to be a message that really is meant to be yours. It's funny because when I look at the spread, I feel like a lot of you are looking for justice, emotional justice, from somebody or something that has taken advantage of you, that has kind of made you get your guard up. I almost feel like this is more their energy in your spread than it is yours. You want to take them down a peg. You want to right the wrongs. But that is operating out of pride, right? And when we really look at the truth, maybe you're the one that wants to be the whistleblower. You want to tell the truth. You want to make things better. You want to be the hand of justice. just make sure that you understand why. And ask yourself if it's really, truly something that's going to mend you and take you to a place of happiness. Just like it says here. I get too that this work, obviously, anytime that we're working on our emotions, it's not easy. But it's work that has to be done. You also got the card of beauty. I'm beautiful even when I don't think it. I'm beautiful even when I don't see it. I'm beautiful no matter how many people don't say it. I'm beautiful and I don't even care if you know it. I'm beautiful, which is why I don't have to try so hard all the time to show it. This very much brings me back to what I had said earlier about some of you feeling like you're not being acknowledged. It's almost like, what is that quote? It's a Charles Bukowski quote. The problem with the world is that the people that know everything, that know things, the smart people, okay, let me start over. I know this quote. The problem with the world is that, here's the basic context. The smart people are shy. They keep to themselves. They're quiet. And the stupid people are the ones that say everything and get all the attention, right? And I feel like that's the energy here, that you are tired of the people that are braggadocious, getting their due, getting their fill, their emotional fulfillment, their step ahead, sometimes at the sake of others. And you're like, but look at me. I try to be a good person. I try to do the right thing. Why can't I reach the top of Everest? Why can't I get my justice? Why do other people get to have what I feel like I want? That type of emotional fulfillment. You know what's funny too is this energy that you're battling with, whether it's another person or it's a shadow aspect of your own personality, of something that you're going through. This is empty. I keep getting that. There's like an emotional vapidity here. It's vapid. It's empty. It's all lies. Hold on, sorry. Maybe that was another reading. Hold on, give me 1 second. Because I just made a connection here. Okay. I believe that was a different reading. I think it was reading number 1. You might want to watch that one. The butterfly. I feel like there's some messages in there that will really resonate with you. Pile number 1 for April. I believe that pile number 1 might resonate with you because it has to do with this truth. And there was a very distinct message about truth in that reading. So check that out if you have some time. Watch the reading for pile number 1. Okay, let's get an archetype card for you for April, please. For our starfish. This could be an emotion that you're anchoring yourself to. That is just pride and you don't realize it. A little different, huh? So we have Eros and the prayer that have come out. Just like on the last pile, I'm going to read the main message of this one. Actually, let me see. If we have time, I'll do both. Let's start with Eros. Just flip into the page. Love as desire, eroticism, sensuality. Though Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality and eroticism, a more contemplative understanding of this archetypal energy leads us to the root of desire itself. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Wow. I'm going to pause it there so we can bring this back to the reading. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? This emotion, like I said, you want to feel the sun. You want this new fire in your life, this Ace of Wands. But you can't be a starfish and not get wet. You can't be a starfish and not swim in emotion. And there is a hesitancy here to really dig deep in the month of April to see what is the root of desire itself. What is it that is making you feel like you need to take somebody down and get your justice, right? Or you need to speak your truth. Where does it originate from? Once we get the truth, we can dive into ourselves and give genuine offerings to who we are. And I feel like that genuineness is what springs this beauty. Because there is nothing more beautiful than somebody that you look at and you say, that person is authentically them. In fact, I took a little break and I was eating before I did your reading. And I watched this video on YouTube about a woman that lives in the 1950s every day. She lives her life like she lives in the 1950s every day. That is you right here. Living in your truth. That's your journey in in April. This could be something that perhaps originated in February and you're just now kind of looking deep at the emotions of it. You know, February is the month of love. So you very well could have had something happen in a relationship or something that started in February and you're just now kind of addressing the emotional wounds of the mending that's needed for that. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros reconnects us with the primal longing to merge with another human being, nature, music, art, plants, food, or anything that we perceive we are separate from. Eros allows us to momentarily unite. Our heart embraces otherness, and in doing so, we further understand our own. Our life force awakens. This card reveals an inevitable initiation into love's labyrinth. You may find yourself swirling in a new territory of desire and sensuality. Hello. Explore the labyrinth with a curious and honest heart. With a curious and honest heart. And remember, though the way is circuitous, you are always being led towards its center. Circuitous. That is not an easy word to say 5 times fast. Interesting. Okay, let's see what else. Plato reminds us that Eros can be experienced as platonic love. It is activated when we witness beauty. Beauty. It is activated when we witness beauty and truth in the world, when our barriers soften. I mean, yeah, this beauty, like I said, it comes in living in this truth, in letting the ego down and actually saying, okay, this is where this really comes from, right? That's when we pull in this emotion, that's when we can soften. And remember what I said earlier, that I didn't know why I got this, but that some of you were looking to soften in the water because of the rough texture of this starfish. That's where I almost got like exfoliation when I said that earlier, and I was like, where did that come from? That's what it meant. Like pulling off the layers because of the rough patches. I see somebody like in a bath, like exfoliating, getting rid of that dead skin, the useless gunk that piles up on us. Except you're doing it emotionally so that you can start fresh with this new emotion. Here's what the card says when we're in the light on Eros: passion, playfulness, sexual health. That's Ace of Wands, right? When we're in the dark: madness, projection, and obsession. This area here: pride, right? Jealousy, ego. This, like I said, this Queen of Pentacles isn't a bad card. But I just got the feeling from this, her pose, the way she was looking at this conflict, that this was a shadow part of the self, or this is somebody exterior to you that you feel, you look at, and you just think, God, what I wouldn't give to put you in your place, right? Because of the ego. And the word projection here really brings into circle what I was saying about you might be mad at somebody for a long time, but when you really look deep down into why you feel that fire, that emotion, that whatever bile wants to purge out when you think about this feeling or this person, if it's somebody exterior to you, that is what they're talking about here, projection. I am projecting that I believe the only good work is honest work onto somebody that isn't operating in that space, right? When I gave you that example. And this is what this is warning of. Make sure that you're not projecting, right? Last thing here, the Hindu goddess Lalita, she who plays, can help activate Eros' energy. She is also known as Kameshvari, Empress of Desire. Interesting. Okay, let's see what the prayer has to say. I'm really enjoying, because like I said at the beginning, I have not had time to play with these archetype cards, so I think this is a really great way of learning them with you, is just reading the definitions and stuff, you know? Let's see here, 495. Getting there. Okay. The prayer. The worship, the reverence, the homage. What is prayer? When are we in a state of prayer and when are we not? To whom or what do we pray? I can't even say archetype very well. Like, it's just such a tongue twister. And then she puts archetypically here. Archetypically, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy for the omnipresent self-centered thinking that spins us toward an illusion. Prayer leads us beyond our ego as we move from our little story to the big one. Some say we are in a state of prayer anytime we are not the center of our own thoughts. Others say prayer is a natural result of gratitude. Perhaps it is simply surrender or service. Pausing for a second. Remember when I said here that perhaps the right action, right, instead of lashing out in the example that I gave you from my own life, like I'm the most important person in the world. Remember how I said when I was able to dial down where that feeling came from, I was able to not focus on the person that's doing messy, petty nonsense, and instead give love to the people that were working hard and help them come up. That's what we're talking about here. Perhaps it is simply surrender or service. If we focus on the positive side of these emotions, if we really strip down this energy And we operate from a place of love. We heal, we give, we surrender. And I think that brings in this beauty. Whatever prayer is for you, this card reminds us of its importance. Get quiet, low, humble, and soft. Bow and touch the ground as your heart lifts to the sky. Though it may be uncomfortable, it is time. Nothing else will do. Again, like feeling uncomfortable, right? Let's go here. Experiment with the act of bowing down. Nearly all spiritual traditions make a practice of prostration. Where was that card? Yeah, this is not just a... It's almost like you're bowing down to awakening, right? With the sun and this spirituality. That's how you mend, is by really getting down and just purging it and just head on. These are my emotions. This is what I feel. You know, I really get this purging, this exfoliation, this like scraping of the barnacles off of us, you know? Let's see what's here. Every song, kiss, breath, word can become a prayer. It is a feeling, not an action. Consider the ancient mantra, Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. I bow to the creative consciousness within. I bow to the teacher within. Really just learning to embrace this thing that you're pushing away. Like I said, I feel like it's like you're resistant because you want to be in this fired up energy. And there's more than one way to get to this place. And for some of you, see how I accidentally said there's more than one place instead of more than one way to get to this place? Maybe this isn't the place for you at all. Perhaps you have a different Ace of Wands in a different deck that you're trying to get to, and your pride and your ego won't let you connect with the heart, with the emotion, to get you there. Wow, that's a really powerful spread for pile number 3. Last thing, when light, offering to be of service and asking for guidance. When dark, expecting results and self-aggrandizement. Right? Isn't that the vibe that I kind of told you I got off this card? How interesting. And this just leading to this conflict. So go deeper, ask to be of service. I think that's why I was given that example to give you. Ask to be of service. In the month of April, how can you help? If you've got neighbors that are isolated with everything that we've got going on in the world, go knock on somebody's door. Ask them, leave a plate of something for them. Give them a call and make sure that they're okay. They don't need toilet paper. They don't need water. They don't need, see where in your community you might be able to be of service. And I feel like that love, that place, that frequency, that emotional operation, that is what's going to lead you to here. That's the truth. Not this energy, not this pride, not this ego. All right. Wow, that was different than the others. I have to be honest, but what's funny is remember when I said like there's this weird resistance, my throat was closing up? I felt that all through the reading. Like the other readings, it was like, let's flow, let's like everything. And this one, there was this like, don't look under my sheets, don't look under my bed. You don't want to take your shoes off in somebody's house because your socks are dirty. Right? Y'all were pushing and, fighting me off on this one. It's what you're doing to yourself here. Get through the water and find the sun. That's what you're being told. Be of service. The person, if this is an exterior force, even if it's internal, whoever this person is, or whatever part of you, this energy is right here. I want you to pray for them. Even if you don't believe in a God, pray to the universe, pray to whatever. Pray, send love and light. Ask them how you can be of service. That's your challenge. That's how you boss up in April. Ask the person that you despise the most how you can be of service to them. And if this is a part of you, pray for that part of you and heal it with love and with emotion and with truth. And that will set you off to this new place or to this new passion that you already see, but you can't get to until you unblock this emotion. Okay? That's justice to me, right? Okay, so we had some water energy here. We have Leo, we have Libra. You could be that sign. You could have that in your chart. We've got some fire energy here. Earth sign with the Queen of Coins. I hope this reading resonated. Let me know what you think of this spread. It was definitely the most difficult out of the bunch. A lot of resistance here. Let me know what's going on down below, you guys. I believe that by the time I post this, there should still be a giveaway on my Instagram for another Kim Kranz deck, the creator of these archetype decks. The Wild Unknown Animal Spirit. I am giving away one of those decks. I believe that this will be open still by the time this video gets posted. So feel free to check out my Instagram and try to get your hands on it. I do one about twice a month, if not more. So if this one isn't for you, then maybe the next one, okay? You can reach me on Instagram up there. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful April. Bye. Alrighty, if you picked deck number 4, this little gold bicycle, then this is the reading for you on what you can expect in the month of April 2020. Let's get started. I get that for some of you, the energy off of this bike, it almost feels a little stir crazy. I feel like some of you are moving. In April, you might be physically moving to a new location. You might be getting active. You might be getting outdoors. But this feeling of needing to get out, needing to expand and move to a different place, to a different direction. I very much get Chariot energy here. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The Chariot here. Trying to figure out in the month of April what direction it is that you should move to and what it is that you want to move for. Like what your big why is. Why is it that I want to move? Maybe even if you find that why, that's when you're able to take action on something. So April is definitely a go-getter month. I just got that for somebody. It's time to stop wishing and it's time to start doing, taking a first step. I feel like some of you could be going back to school in the month of April. It's like you never, that quote, like you never forget how to ride a bike or something. Going back to something that you did or knew before and relearning, getting yourself back into that place and feeling right in the groove of things. I get this sense of freedom as well. Some of you are looking to break free, to break out, to travel a path less traveled, to spread your wings a little bit in the month of April. Some of you could be taking some risks, could be going down paths that aren't bike trails. They're rougher terrain. You feel trained for that. You feel ready for that. Interesting. Definitely motion though. Getting moving. You're tired of stagnancy. You're tired of hanging around, waiting for the world to come to you, needing to take life by the horns and really get in there and make something happen for yourself. Some of you could be very, very focused on your health in the month of April. I hear blood pressure, trying to work on that, trying to get that down. I also see that some of you could be, I may have mentioned this already, you could be stuck inside, especially with everything going on in the world, and you're getting antsy, right? Like, I need to get out, I need to see the sun, I need my vitamin D. Interesting, let's see where this is going. So, higher power, flexible, between worlds. Okay. So, a little bit of everything here. We have higher power, flexible, and between worlds. So definitely some of you are getting fit. Some of you, this is actually physical, right? You're stretching, you're getting your mojo back, you're getting back on that bike, you're getting outside, you're becoming active in the month of April. I see some of you, again, are traveling between worlds. Perhaps you are a snowbird and you're traveling somewhere that's beachy, that's hot, that's warm. Or traveling from a situation that is dark, where you need to feel the light. That could be from a relationship that isn't serving you, from a job that isn't serving you, from a mindset that isn't serving you. You're between worlds, you're transitioning, you are traveling in this direction. That's where your bike is headed. Remember what I said about having that big why? That thing that you are, it's like if you hold this truth, this big why, this big purpose, you can bend, you can flex to get to this new destination. Some of you are finding that purpose in the month of April. You're finding that big why. You're checking in with your higher power. Some of you, this higher power is in the mind. If we see that key in her head, the higher power is our intuition. We're flexing that. We're flexing that muscle to get us from a place of subconscious to conscious, to awaken. It's like I was saying, that feeling of being locked inside and needing to get out, needing to stretch, needing to feel the sun on you. Very interesting. What else do we have? I care for the earth, and I regard all altars with respect. Okay, it's funny that this came out, because when I said higher power, right, some of you are going towards a higher power, and I clarified that for some of you, you might not be religious, and that higher power is in the mind. I believe that's what this card means. I regard all altars with respect. How very funny that would come out. I care for the earth, again, needing to ground yourself, to be in nature, to feel connected in some way to nature, to the outside, busting out. Let's see where else this is going. Inspiration? Yeah, that higher power is what's moving this forward. And happiness. I feel like this higher power is the boon, is the inspiration that makes you start moving, makes you start flexing and bending towards happiness, towards this brighter world in April, towards this sublime, warm, like I could feel it, warmness, this warmth. For some of you too, this is a balancing act. This is like Two of Pentacles, right? Six of Pentacles, making sure we're balanced, making sure we are balanced between what we know and what we don't know, where we are and where we're headed. We need to inspire ourselves to move towards this happiness, towards this future. And from this card, this "I regard all altars with respect," I almost get the imagery of that Doreen Virtue card. Your soulmate might differ from your usual expectations. Your soulmate, as in your destination, might be different than what you thought it was going to be. In April, you might have a realization that the course has changed. You're pedaling your bike in another direction. Let's see what else we have. The Hermit. Okay, yeah, taking that time to dig deep. The Four of Coins. I get too that this flexible card, there's something uncomfortable about that. There's something that you're twisting, you're contorting, right? This might have to do with your worldview, that having to twist that to accept this new reality, to accept this new place in your heart where the universe is telling you this is where you're going now. Needing to contort the way you think, the way you feel. Because maybe you thought you were going to be gray all your life. And now the universe is saying, this is an option, living the world in color. And you're saying, okay, now I have to re-engineer all my thoughts towards this new passion, all my emotions towards this new passion, this direction that I didn't think that I was going to be attracted to, and yet here I am. So we have the Hermit here, and if we look here, this person is wandering through the woods, and the only light that they have is their inner wisdom. And that has fallen right directly on higher power. We have the Four of Pentacles, the Three of Coins, the Four of Cups, and the Page of Swords. To me, I get this feeling that you've been holding on tight to something that you feel that you believe, and that's going to change. And one of the fears, I think, that comes up with this, I kind of want to see. Yes, yes, yes. The second that I said one of this Four of Coins, holding on to this, one of the fears that I noticed here with this Three of Coins on top of this card of flexibility, because remember I said this might be uncomfortable, is ceding control, letting go. You are going to have your mind opened to a new path in the month of April, to a new direction. And as beautiful and technicolor as it is, as bright, as vibrant, there is a fear. Because when we go somewhere new, what happens with the old? Ooh. Okay, I just got something. The ship of Theseus. For those of you who don't know, there's this thought exercise called the ship of Theseus. And the basic concept is this. Theseus walks on the shore one day, and he sees that there's a boat in the distance. He runs to the boat, and he realizes that there's nobody around. He doesn't know who owns this boat, so he takes the boat as his own. So he takes the boat out, he's sailing, he's fishing, and it springs a leak. So he takes it back to shore, and Theseus says to himself, I'm going to fix this leak. He takes the boat out the next day, and it works great. He fixed the plank that was messed up, right? That was springing a leak, and now the boat is good to go. But while he's on the journey, another plank breaks, and he gets another leak in the boat. So he takes the boat back to shore, and he replaces that plank. And while he's there, he decides, you know what? Why don't I replace this plank, and this plank now, right? I might as well, I'm here. I might as well fix these planks, and then I know the boat will be sound. So he takes the boat out again, and he realizes that because he's fixed all these planks on this boat that he has found, this boat that he has found that he never expected to find, he never expected to be sailing into this direction, to be on a boat, to have this thing. It just landed in his lap, right, one day. Now he's able to fish and to see the world from the ocean with no leaks. So he looks up and he says, God, those sails, they look a little bit tattered, right? If I fix the sails, then the boat will sail faster. I can get to more places. So he takes the boat back to shore and he fixes the sail. Now, the point of the exercise of the story and how it relates to the reading, because I swear there's a point, is to say, at what point is the ship that he found no longer the ship that he found? How many planks does it take for him to replace before that ship is a new ship? And if he replaces the planks on the ship and enough of the sails on the boat and enough of the decking of the boat and enough of the hardware and the steering wheel and the whatever is in this new direction, if he fixes and changes and alters enough of those things, what happens to the boat that was? Where does that boat go? In this spread, I see somebody that has found a boat on the shore. And they never thought they'd be on this journey. They'd never thought that this would be the thing that calls to them. And they're on the water and they feel free. They feel liberated. They feel let out of this confined space that they used to be in, right? They feel like they've been guided towards this new destination. When this person from this dark energy moves into here, what happens to the old person? When we evolve, when we change, when we regenerate ourselves every night, when we ascend, what happens to the person that we used to be? So I see you searching, wondering, why do I want this new thing now? And having trouble ceding control of the vision of who you thought you were going to be, rectifying that with who you are now becoming, with this new found boat, with this new love of the sea. And you're wondering, if I move to this position, what happens to the old me? As if by moving towards this new thing, you're leaving yourself behind. Your old self. Now, that all sounds good and romantic, but if you think about it from the thought exercise perspective, we don't feel like we're gaining something sometimes when we change, right? That's why it's so hard for people to change. For example, if somebody smokes and they know that they need to stop smoking, they always say, I'm going to quit smoking. It's almost like I'm going to lose that. I'm going to lose smoking. Some of you might be trying to quit smoking and get healthier, get air into those lungs, right? With this bike, get fit again. We don't think of that change in regards to, I'm getting clearer lungs. I'm getting more time outside. I'm getting stamina. I'm getting the sun on my back. I'm getting money to buy a bike because I'm not buying cigarettes. We think about what we're losing, not what we're gaining, right? And I feel like in this month of April, you're trying to hold on, even though you know that you are being stretched and flexed to move into this direction. You're clinging to it. You're trying to find all the reasons to not cede control to that thing that you feel you are being drawn to, right? Very, very interesting. Okay, let's continue. So we have the Three of Coins. What I was going to say was ceding control and perhaps needing to ask others for assistance with this Three of Pentacles, right? Perhaps this is not a journey that is for, maybe you need a tricycle, maybe you need an extra wheel. Maybe you need one of those bikes that seat 2 people or 3 people. in order to make this transition. Because if you stretch yourself too thin, you're going to break. Right? To get to this next place, to get towards this happiness, to this new altar, this boat that just showed up on the horizon, that's now yours to go wherever you please with. So you might need to ask for help from others to get to this next place. And there might be some fear in that in the month of April, to relinquish control. Right? When I said earlier about not judging a book by its cover with this energy and the I respect all altars, it's like you're wrestling with this newfound idea of where you want to go. And the universe is offering you this cup and you're not sure if you want to take it. You're hesitant. You are wondering if this is the cup for you because you've gotten excited about other cups in the past and they've let you down. So you're almost trying to brace yourself for impact. If you can't get to this place, or if it turns out not to be as bright and as sunny as you think, because there's duality in this card, right? There's gray and there's light. Who knows which one you'll land on if you take the risk? I think that's why you're being asked to get some help from others, relinquish control a little bit in the month of April, so that way you're not bearing the burden of this cup all on your own. You're watching it. You could even be watching the people that you might be trying to collaborate with here. You could be watching somebody that you want to come into union with. But it's that card again. Your soulmate may differ from your usual expectations. This soulmate, obviously it could be a person, but I feel like it's a new path. And you're wondering, you're eyeing it. You're trying to not just see it, but see through it. Right? Look at his expression. He's able to see through that sword. It's glass. You're trying to get information, the details. How interesting. I want to clarify this before we move further, because I'm getting this energy here, like there's been so much disappointment that you just don't know if it's worth it to try again, to pedal towards something new. Clarify the four of cups, please. This one to come out. Yeah, a lot of emotional confusion as to which cup is right. Which cup is right? Like which one which one will be right for me? Which one will fit me like a glove? Is this the path? There's a hesitancy here. If I hold on to the status quo, then I don't need to bend. I don't need to get uncomfortable. But there's something, you have two cards of looking within, of intuition, of needing to check yourself here. And I feel like that is saying, look, you might have a lot of options in life, but if you never exercise any of them, if you never pick a cup, how are you going to ever see if there's something like this for you off in the distance? You have to get on your bike and go to it. It's time, like I said in the beginning, to stop watching and to start doing. To take the step towards this, even if it's an immature step, even if it's a wobbly step, even if you have forgotten how to ride that bike, right? We have the Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, which I believe I had mentioned with this card here. Very, very interesting. Yeah, there's so much confusion about if this is the right path for you in the month of April. You are trying to decide which, between the dark and the light, if we think about the card of the Chariot that I had mentioned that I saw earlier, you want to know which direction you should steer. And right now, if you're steering in two directions, you're not going anywhere. You're going to split yourself apart. You're going to tear yourself limb from limb, right? If you let your chariot be guided into two different paths. And you're confused, but the answer is in your head. The answer is in your head. In fact, when I had mentioned this Four of Pentacles and the Emperor wanting to keep control, imagine your life not being in this place and see how that feels. Right? Say it out loud just to see how it feels. And then imagine how it would feel to be in this place and see how that feels. And then you'll probably have your answer on if you need to stop holding on so that you can flex those muscles and get on this chariot towards a new destination. Let's see what we have for your... Okay, so we have follow your heart. I'm always rewarded when I follow my heart. Like I said, a lot of movement, right? I trust the GPS in my heart knows all the best routes. This path, your heart knows which path is the best one for you. And when it seems like it's taking too long to get where I want, I know that's because there's some cool, weird stuff to see along the way. And this person is riding that wave. Again, you could be a water sign. What else do we have? Options. Options. As I open to the abundant possibilities of my life's path, I'm reminded that I always have unlimited options. Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiest. Look at this. This is what's on the other side of you being willing to bend. Open your heart, open your mind, and bend. These options, this happiness, right? Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiest without limiting thoughts like, you can't put mac and cheese on your baked potato. Love that card. That was a nice little message, wasn't it? Lastly, forgiveness. Congratulations, you're being given one of the most powerful superpowers there is, forgiveness. Imagine that you've been bitten by a radioactive forgiver. The point is, you suddenly have the ability to forgive people for their flaws, their bad days, their unkind moments, and their mistakes. And the best thing about forgiveness is that you can apply it to yourself too. Have fun wielding your new power, but remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. This is a bonus card. These bonus cards are very rare in this deck, so when you get one, it makes it extra special. It means it's like a double confirmation. I see this forgiveness as that Six of Pentacles, that balance, right? And I think too, forgiving ourselves for being fearful of change, for wondering what will happen to the old me. It's almost like you feel like you're severing an arm if you take this new risk, this new path. What am I leaving behind? Well, you know what? We all have to leave something behind when we move forward, when we ascend. Forgive yourself for any of that, right? Forgive yourself for even fearing that. And step into this new space, even if it's as this child, as this new wobbly, I need an extra wheel on my bike, because I forget what momentum feels like. That's what I was just told to tell you. I forgot what momentum feels like. Forgive yourself for any stagnancy, for holding on to the safe space instead of following your heart and exercising these options, flexing these options. and then you can move forward. That is very beautiful. Okay, let's pull a card from the archetype deck. As I said in the beginning, I'm familiarizing myself with these. I haven't had that much time to play with them. So I'm learning as you're learning. So we'll pull a card and read the definition from the book. So far, in the last couple of readings, man, they've been really, really good. So let's, fingers crossed. For our little chariots here, our go-getters, our movers forward, what message do we have for them for the month of April, please? Okay, the poet and the tear. Let's see. Bear with me as I look this up. Okay, the poet. Where are you at? Looking. Here we go. Okay, the poet, the artist, the witness, the truth teller. The poet's work is to feel immensely and not be afraid. They must seek out the truth in the darkest corners of the world and carry it back for all to see. This unique capacity resides within us all, regardless of our relationship to creativity. When the poet is present, there is a call for deep honesty and reflection. I mean, look at where this landed, right? Deep honesty, deep reflection with the hermit and this higher power. Following our heart. There is a call for deep honesty and reflection, for seeing the big picture within the little one. The poet rides effortlessly between the personal and universal, maybe on a bike. The poet rides effortlessly, right? It's possible that others may not seem to listen or care about the poet's work, but do not be discouraged. It's like that saying, artists make things that people don't need, right? The world doesn't need it, but it does, right? The words of the poet ring true for centuries to come, soothing the wounds of despair and violence that captivate our world. The poet's work is never finished. Find your voice and trust that the wind will carry it. Like I said, these cards, I feel like it just wraps everything up so nicely. The wind, the story about the boat, about leaving something behind, feeling like, is this still my boat? That worry, right? But don't worry, the wind will catch your sails. It will pull you forward. You'll get that momentum. It's like those people that I was saying that have forgotten what momentum feels like. When you have forgotten, don't worry, the wind will carry you. Okay? Let's see what else. It is likely there is a poem or a poet that was meaningful to you at a young age. Revisit and reread it. Be open to its message. Some of you, this could be a creative endeavor, clearly. I mean, you could be opening, there could be a lot of resistance from the world saying, stay with what's stable, stay with what you know will keep money on the table, even if it might be a meager sum, right? Even if it's not, what is really stable? If anything, we're seeing right now in the world that there is no real stability. You never know when something can knock everyone off track, entire countries, right? Maybe it's the time to take the risk. Maybe you've always wanted to write poetry, right? Or you've always wanted to be an athlete or be whatever, paint a beautiful picture. Learn to paint, learn to be a creator, learn to be an artist. And you're like, why now? Why do I need to change paths now? Why is my chariot wanting to pull in a different direction? It's because the world needs your poetry. It needs your voice. It needs you to walk into this space. Let's keep going. The poet is related to the shaman and the bridge. These archetypes hover in the meeting place between the everyday and the sacred. Yeah, it's like this card, between two worlds and your higher power. This is the shaman. You're hovering between. You're trying to balance between both. And I feel like in the context of somebody that has found this new passion for creativity, or even a relationship, whatever the case may be, you are, how do I phrase this? It's almost like you're understanding that this force, this aching that you have in your chest to do this thing, I almost feel like you feel like it was this weird destined thing that has been hiding inside of you, and you're just now realizing that it has been hiding the entire time. Like you're peeking through and you almost wonder, how did I not see it? I mean, it's so clear. How did I not pull the veil? How did I not move? How did I not understand that? It's a bridge. It's a, like you're the bridge between this knowledge, this creativity, this art that brings like the thing that artists make that people don't need and the real world together in harmony. Interesting. Okay. When light, clairvoyant, wise, timeless. When dark, harmful words, sharp tongue, thwarted creativity. Go deeper. Spend 1 hour reading poetry, then one more. So that's your advice. So let's see what the tier is. The tier, I saw it here a second ago. Here we go. Okay. The morning, the release, the rain. Tears are droplets of letting go. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotion to run its elemental course. Often, the tear is what is needed in order for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Wow, so definitely runs with this idea of sailing that ship, right? And feeling sad to leave something behind, mourning a release of something, of your old self. What does it mean if I leave my old self? Maybe I should just cling to it even though I know I've evolved past that fear, right? What does it mean if I leave my old self, who's going to take care of it? Kind of a thing. It's almost like this part of you is a child that you've nurtured, even on the days that it has not been good for you. As women, as mothers, we nurture through the good and the bad, right? But this isn't your child. Your past self is not your child. It's a version of you that changes and that evolves into an adult. And you're an adult now. And it's time to let this part go. It'll be fine without you, right? It can order a pizza. It can take care of itself. It doesn't need you anymore. It's a big boy. It's a big girl, okay? Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up a portal to the unseen world. Through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we are reminded of their internal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It is likely this card appears when there is grieving yet to do, a sinking down into disappointment or despair that, once acknowledged, will bring a shimmer of clarity to our dewy eyes. Ooh, that kind of gave me chills. That imagery with that story of the ship of Theseus. Sometimes when I do these readings, I just go where the flow takes me, and I think, why did you bring that up? Why did you say that? And then I see through the reading, I'm like, okay, I get it now. I'll shut up and get out of the way, universe. I'll let my ego get out of the way, right? The tear is powerful, and it is possible to be subsumed in its waters. Find a supportive place to open the floodgates. Find a supportive place to open the floodgates. So you might be surprised, if you are looking to make this transition in April, how many people will be like, I got you. You're safe here. Tell me what we got to do. We'll take the first 20 steps together, right? If both the tear and the river appear in a reading, this indicates an excess of water element in your life. As in the Ayurvedic tradition, balance it with fire and earth. Very interesting. So this could be this needing to go outside, this clinging to the earth, right? I care for the earth to balance this emotion, to balance all of the floodgates that are coming through right now. How very interesting. Okay, pile number 4, I hope you have an incredible April. I hope that this reading resonated to you. We've got a little bit of everything here, Virgo specifically, earth, we've got air, we've got a little bit of water here. I believe that by the time this video gets posted, I will still be doing the giveaway for the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Same creator, Kim Kranz, that made this deck here. And it should still be going on by the time this video comes out. But if not, I do a giveaway usually twice a month, maybe 3 times a month, to go ahead and give to one of my subscribers. So feel free to reach out to me on Instagram above. That's where I announce those and give you instructions on how to join if you are interested in that. If this is where I leave you, I hope that you found this message helpful, inspiring, that it made you think about some things, and let me know if what you're moving your chariot towards in the month of April, okay? I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.